Does it matter if I put this in my jug or not? Get it? Juggernaut.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is eSportsMonies, ESM, Mac10, whatever you want to call me, and today we're going to be going over my guide to jungling Juggernaut. The first thing I want to point out here is that I've actually sped up the video speed to 140% from my VOD. You're not hearing game sounds, you are only hearing the smoothness of my voice, I guess, if you would call my voice smooth. And I'm going to be narrating the clip. I'm doing this so that I don't have to think while jungling, and also because I can reduce the time of my videos and therefore condense the useful information into a more digestible package. So as far as skill build goes, you're going to want to max your passive crit as quickly as possible. You're going to get a point in your healing ward at level 2, 4, and then up to you at 8, but typically I'll get a value point in Blade Spin to escape getting killed at level 8. You're going to get the damage passive at level 10, and you're going to get your ult as soon as possible because you can clear an entire camp with it just by using it. Now I know what you're thinking about using the ult on creeps. That's kind of something that happens by accident, not on purpose, but we're going to be doing that here just because you kill creeps so much faster. So you're going to go ahead and start out with a pack of Tangos and the Iron Talon per usual with a melee jungler, and then you're going to buy a Quelling Blade as soon as possible. Because of the fact that you have a healing ward, you're not actually going to need additional regen. You're only going to have to use the fountain once. I am going to go ahead and grab every bounty rune that I can, but I'm not going to go too far out of my way to get one. If there's one on the other side of the map, I'm not going to go there just for that. So again, I'm going to start out with that Quelling Blade just because, or I'm going to go buy the Quelling Blade as my first item, just because it does stack with the passive damage from the Iron Talon, making it so you clear camps very, very quickly. If you're careful when you with this, or just really ballsy and don't die, then you'll find out that this hero is very, very durable in the jungle and can last for a very long period of time without actually going back to get regen, or ever get regen. You're more concerned with the speed at which you kill creeps because you're so defensively strong to begin with. So I'm going to be trying to use my Iron Talon on big creeps as much as possible. I'm going to do things like try to Iron Talon the big troll, immediately kill a small troll, and then kill the minions that summon. Kill those first because they do a lot of damage relative to the amount of health they have. And I'll buy my Ring of Health first, because that sort of solidifies this tankiness that we have, and then I will finish up my Perseverance because it does give you plus 10 damage, and it also gives you mana regen, which is useful. Plus 10 damage isn't as good as either of the other damage items that build into Battlefury, but hey, they're not bad. I saw a guy on YouTube be able to get an 11-minute Battlefury by jungling Juggernaut. It was a little over 11 minutes, but they had to kill the Ancients, which you can only do on Dire. And what I mean by killing the Ancients is you can actually pull a small creep to the Ancients, ult them, and you can bounce to Ancients and kill them, but you can't actually use your ultimate on Ancients. So that's something to take in mind when you do this. If you do this on Dire, you can actually get the Battlefury a little bit faster, so maybe like a 10-minute Battlefury just from jungling on the Dire side. So again, this is just a situation where I'm going to try to be as efficient as possible. I'm going to kill this Frost creep pretty quickly because he does slow my attack speed, and again, the big factor here is how quickly I can kill camps, and I am going to use my ulti on camps as often as possible. I'm going to hit that small creep first, or the smaller of those two creeps first, because I want to use my Iron Talon on the big creep. This is a pretty straightforward guide. Most of the footage is just used for mechanical purposes. You choke point a little bit more with Juggernaut than other heroes just because you only attack one hero at a time, and you don't scale by getting hit by more heroes, and there's no real, there's no cost in the time it takes you to kill creeps for most of your choke points. So with this camp, it doesn't really make sense to choke just because they walk around and therefore it can take you longer to find them, like a second or two longer to find them and kill them at the end of the camp, versus with this large camp, that choke point time is drastically reduced. Anyway, I'm just going to ult them, so clean up. The thing about the ult is it's mostly about the speed at which you farm, so it just lets you clear those camps faster. I can understand if you want to hold on to it, if you're like, you know, above the 3Ks, getting into the 4K MMR, and you think that someone is going to be watching your jungle, then I can understand saving the ultimate in case someone finds you, because if an enemy hero finds you in the jungle and they're alone and you have your ultimate, you might be able to just straight up kill them right then. Something that I've been wondering about is, just because the speed at which you move across the map is such a big factor, perhaps getting boots would allow you to get Battlefury not at an increased time, but perhaps at the same time, and if that's the case, then you basically just got free boots. So that's something that you may want to look into experimenting with. I believe it's this camp here where I'm... No, it's not this one, I don't think. There's going to be a time where I'm going to try to stack this by immediately killing the camp and then hiding in the trees behind it. And this is actually doable because you can hold down your Alt key and just see where the spawn boxes are for all your creep camps at any time. You can actually do really weird things like force yourself into like awkward corners that don't naturally exist, but that you can create because you have a Quelling Blade, and you also don't add an additional 4 seconds onto when you can use your Iron Talon. So as you see, level 8, I got the bonus point, I got the value point in my spin, just to escape danger if it comes to it. But again, this is a very, very greedy build, and if you are doing this, there's a pretty good chance that you'll die if you get jumped, unless you have both spin and the Blade Storm. You're going to probably have a better chance of killing off whatever hero is trying to gank you than running away from them, because of the fact that we're not buying boots for this particular build. Of course you get boots at some point. I mostly use my ult there just to jump down the cliff, but again, I did get to wipe out a full creep camp in the process, so that wasn't too inefficient. And now, as I kind of foreshadowed to earlier, I used my Iron Talon on the big creep, then immediately killed the smaller troll, and then he summoned his minions, which gave me an extra 18 gold and a small amount of experience. Probably worth it just because of the fact that you kill those 2 bonus creeps so quickly. So just going to run back and clear up this wolf camp. Again, going to keep an eye out for the bounty runes, but they're more of a... If I'm going to that area of the map anyway, I'll go ahead and grab the bounty runes. If I'm not going to that area of the map, then I'm not going to grab the bounty runes. And you can see that I'm Iron Taloning this big creep after hitting the smaller one a few times first, just because the Iron Talon active does a flat tax or a flat damage amount on the enemy creep out of their current health, not their total health. So it does scale, it does less the lower the health of the enemy creep is. So I'm getting pretty close now. If you like this guide, please press the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you're already subscribed, press the little bell next to the subscribe button so that you can get notifications about when I release guides. I was actually going to release a video today that was not a hero guide, it was a vlog, or I guess vlog if you want to call it that, for my MLG 2013 experience, but that's been put off. So you see I was a fraction of a second late there, but if you cut that tree, then you can escape. But anyway, thanks for watching, and peace.